thoughts on Daggerheart. Now, this isn't going to be first impressions because I've been playing this game since the playtest, since beta. But I kind of want to just do a quick run by of what Daggerheart is, what I love about it, what I don't like about it, and who I think it's for. So let's get into that. A little about my credentials first before we start. I've been in a actual play called Bitten, GM by Talking XP. We just wrapped our season. It was an amazing time. I think one of the best games that I've ever had the privilege of being in. Please be sure to check it out if you can.
That's so fucking cool.
That's
what?
Fucking cool.
Okay, I think I'm gonna spend a fear. I'm gonna have this one shambling blighter get up from being attacked and is going to rush towards Snatch. You are the closest one. That is an 18 to hit.
Yeah, just missed. No, of course he hit me. So there's a thing that I have that I've been forgetting to use, which is parrying dagger. So let me know when we roll the damage.
7 physical damage.
Alright, so parrying dagger says, parry if any of the attacker's damage dice roll the same value as your dice. The matching results are discarded from the attacker's damage dice.
So fucking cool.
That's
what?
Fucking cool.
The
Okay.
damage you take total.
You need a 4 and a 1.
So I rolled 2d6.
Okay.
I rolled the 5 and a 4.
Okay, so the 4 is negated. That is insane. So then you take 3 physical damage instead. That's wild.
I think while Snatch is like holding this one, his hand is empty for a second, and then there's a dagger, and he just puts it in between the thing's mouth, like, be nice to me. The cast unstoppable. Like I came in only knowing maybe 1 or 2 people here, and now we're the best of friends, and I think our work speaks for itself. So the system that allowed me to make such good friends is Daggerheart. It is a TTRPG created by Darrington Press, the fine folks over at Critical Role, and it is essentially their answer to 5e. Very much like 5e, you play a PC that has 6 stats, agility, strength, finesse, instinct, presence, and knowledge. You put points in them, and then you roll. But you won't be rolling the dice that you think's. That's right, it's the D12's time to shine. No longer is the D12 the die of the barbarian. Now they're duality die. So whenever you have a check or an attack in Daggerheart, you're gonna roll your 2d12. Then you're gonna add whatever attribute is attached to the skill or attack that you're rolling, and then whichever number rolls the higher, that will determine whether you roll with fear or with hope. Now, hope is a resource that powers some of the strongest abilities that your character has. Fear, however, is a resource that the GM gets to use to make your life miserable. I'm looking at you, nasty Johnny. But that is essentially the system. There are other nuances. For example, HP works a little differently in this game. There are thresholds. So if you take a certain amount of damage, you lose HP equal to the threshold that the damage was able to cross. For example, there's minor damage, there's major damage, and then there's severe damage, right? So let's say I hit you for 5 points of damage. If your minor threshold is 5, you lose 1 hit point. let's say I hit you for 10 damage. If your major threshold is 10, then you lose 2 hit points. And then finally, let's say I hit you for 15 points. If your severe damage is 15, you lose 3 hit points. I think most people start with about 6 hit points. So it is a very cool way to make sure that battles don't end in an instant, but also that make sure that they don't last forever. There's also a stress mechanic. Stress is another resource that you can use for abilities. You're not gonna find spell slots here, baby. You're using HP and stress, and that's it. That is it. Whenever you score a critical, you gain 1, and scoring a critical is whenever you roll the same number on your 2d12. That is a critical. When you score a critical, you clear 1 stress and you gain a hope. So you can do more things. So essentially, you can be casting all day if you roll very well. There are abilities that remove stress and the like. But essentially, that is Daggerheart. Very simple, very clean, very out of the way. Now, what does combat in Daggerheart look like? Well, you roll initiative, right? Wrong! Wrong, you do not do that. There is no initiative. The way it works is essentially players get to go first unless the GM spends fear. The GM is going to be spending fear for everything the baddies do. And I think that's really cool. So like, as you're going through an adventure and you're doing these rolls to like find whatever you're looking for, each time you roll with fear, you know you're giving the GM tools to destroy you. Now, I do believe I have been a player more than I have been a GM. I've GM'd once, but I do believe that the GM has a cap with fear, about 12, I think, which is also good because it gives them incentive to use that fear. And they can use fear for anything. If you make a, like, if they want to throw something at you, a trap, or just to give you a harder time, there is a resource that they use to do that, and I think that it is fantastico. Not again, but I would say that the word that I would use to describe a really good Daggerheart session is rhythm. When everybody is on, it feels like you're in the pocket. I do a thing, you do a thing, they do a thing, the GM does a thing because now they got fear, and we're all rocking and rolling, and there's not that moment of needing to read the rule books or like getting in the weeds about who does what or when or why. This system wants activity. The system wants you to advocate for your character, and the system makes room for you to do just that. And when the roleplay starts, it gets the hell out of the way. This is a comfortable system that emphasizes the rhythm of storytelling and the spirit of collaboration, unlike any other system that I have ever played. Highly recommend it. Make sure that you're playing with some of your favorite people, and tell me how it goes. Until then, I've been Noir. Thank you for listening. I'm going to try and have more videos up on this channel as well. But until then, as always, be kind to yourself and to each other. Excelsior.